Welcome to Life in Columbus, the live stream. And this is your insider's guide to what's going on in Columbus and your front row seat to what's going on in the 614. So I'm joined by Oliver Chapman and Brad Winter, two of the top real estate agents here in town. My name is Ryan Miracle, and I'm your favorite lender. So if you're here local or you are transferring into Columbus, make sure to share your opinions and your stories with us. We would love to help you. We would love to celebrate Columbus with you. Let's get started. Gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Doing good. We survived Tornado Alley.
That's right.
Was your house alive and with a lot of energy at 5 o'clock in the morning, or did you sleep through it? You guys sleep through it?
Yeah, my 2-year-old slept through it. No surprise there. But then, yeah, both my dogs were glued to my chest, like hearts beating out of their chest.
It's really the only way I knew something was wrong, because I didn't hear any sirens. The Amber Alert on my phone wasn't going off or anything. And so it's just my dog breathing in my face.
I mean, it seems like the Dayton or out east kind of caught the worst of it. So we just got the noise and the annoyance without really any of the fun of seeing any carnage. But I mean, Wright Pat got nailed pretty significantly.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh my God, I didn't see that.
Dang,
Yeah.
I love, dude. Wright Pat is like got a special place in my heart. I love going there as a kid. Man, my grandparents used to take me there every summer.
Yeah, so I saw these pictures this morning, and I don't know how old these planes are, but they look really rough, unfortunately.
Well, they look really like vintage now. Like they actually saw some action.
Nice little patina on them.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess so. For the people that are at home, that if they did suffer any damage, like what resources would you guys think that they go to? Like roofers, insurance. I mean, who do you think they go to first?
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. Yeah, first phone call is going to be your insurance company.
Yeah, I saw. I think I saw something. I don't know if it was maybe in my Twitter feed or maybe it was like Life in Columbus, like on Instagram. But somebody's house was totaled, and the lady was getting an interview. The insurance adjuster already came out and was like, "You got to tear it down and start over."
Oh man.
You know, I mean, and unfortunately, out in the area that it was at, I mean, that's a it's a tough population as far as income and housing and all that stuff. So my heart goes out to those people, but I'm sure the insurance companies were busy that afternoon.
But nobody got hurt. Like I didn't hear, which was the good news. I didn't hear of any casualties, tragedies, anything like that. Just a lot of destruction. I guess there was like 5 houses in London that got destroyed. Blacklick had, I guess, the worst tornado since 1971. I read.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you got to be careful of the scammers that are coming out and trying to take your insurance money at the same time. You got to love the human species. But no, so I'm glad that we're okay. But that's actually one of the benefits of living in Ohio is really a heavy snow once every 10 years and the occasional tornado.
Yeah.
We don't have landslides, wildfires, or any of that other garbage.
Did you guys see the wildfire in Texas that was going on?
I heard about it.
They were kind of showing that like in conjunction with the tornado updates and this wildfire, and I think it was North Texas, just rip. I mean, it's scary, like how it was going into Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma, and it was wild. So yeah, I'm glad we don't have any of that stuff.
This might sound ignorant, but like, what would a wildfire burn up out there? There's not like much in terms of forest. Is it just grassland?
Grassland. So how dry it is, you have massive ranches that is just, I don't know what kind of crop it is or grass, but basically they were just showing these cattle farmers were just trying to rescue all their cattle, get them out of there because their fields were just engulfed in these flames. And it was wild, man. It's crazy times out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think since it's kind of in the plains of middle America, I would assume that the winds are just hell out there, and that's not helping trying to calm this thing down at all.
For sure.
Yeah.
Move to Ohio. Don't have that.
No wildfire.
We have 2 guys that can help you do it.
Too much rain.
Yeah.
If you love rain, we've got rain. We got water here in Ohio.
We do have some water. That's awesome.
All
right.
I hear we have an AI brewery too.
We do, and that's actually one of the things that we wanted to touch on today. Is we have. Thank you, Brad, for the nice, beautiful segue. So we have our first AI brewery here in town. Now, I have no idea what the hell this means. Does that mean that robots dressed in cheerleader costumes are coming out and serving the beer? What does this mean?
I don't know. The way I kind of thought about this when I saw it is, if you guys ever watch Star Wars and they go into like the bar, and all the little creatures are around. Like in my head, I was like, "That's what this is. This is what it's becoming. It's just like we're gonna live out our Star Wars childhood dreams, But that's the concept. I don't know if it'll stick, but yeah, I'm gonna go check it out. I'm curious now, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some creatures crawling around the bar, but hopefully Han Solo and Greedo don't get too chippy in the corner. Sorry, I'm a big nerd. I don't know if that reference landed for you guys.
It did. I got you, man. I'm with you.
All right, cool. But yeah, so this is interesting. We're going to start seeing some more AI restaurants, specifically as we're seeing, like I heard in California, that they are raising minimum wage for restaurant and service industries. So you're going to start seeing more places like this. And I think, Oliver, a couple of weeks ago, you brought up the fact that there's a restaurant here in town that has robot servers and robot order takers. So I think this is going to be a cost-cutting exercise for a lot of businesses. And at least on the front end, it's going to be kind of a secondary kind of cool.
Did you guys hear the news about Wendy's this week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dynamic pricing with the AI.
Stock market ticker.
Yeah, they're poor PR people. I feel bad for them.
Man, that did not go well.
No.
Yeah, I guess people might not know this, but Wendy's is headquartered here in Columbus, and they've got a really big R&D center. And I used to go taste test for Wendy's. That was like how I made $40, every 3 months in college. They would pay you to go do. Yeah, they pay to do taste testing. You can still sign up today.
Dang, man, I was giving blood and you were eating burgers.
Yeah, that's you do.
Yeah, but you're going to start seeing a lot of people kind of pushing back on, like, it almost seems punitive as far as the pricing and the price gouging from a lot of these businesses, because it wasn't even 24 hours later to where the CEO of Kellogg comes out and steps in a big pile of it and says, yeah, things are more expensive. You should probably just go eat more cereal. So now on April 1st, there's like this massive Kellogg's boycott for 3 months to try to put them back in their place. But like, what is going on where these CEOs need to be given a microphone when they have been so out of touch with what you and I kind of go through for like the last 40 years? I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, to just see the evolution of how business is looking at AI. You have obviously these CEOs coming out. They want to drastically cut costs for their shareholders and themselves. And, I don't know. I'm indifferent with AI. I think there's a lot of good tools, but will it create more jobs, different jobs? I mean, we don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot of these concepts like this brewery we're going to see a lot of this probably for the next 5 years. Right?
Yeah.
People trying their hand at this, and we'll just see where it goes. I'm interested, at least.
It's such a disruptor. I mean, in any industry and you're in, AI is now going to be a part of our life. And going forward, I don't know what that's going to mean, but I do know that's going to shake up the workforce and how we think about going to work, because there's even more advanced AI that's coming down the road, and that's called AGI. Yeah. And AGI is going to be like your personal assistant. I mean, it's going to be exponentially smarter than we are, and can work exponentially faster. So people are going to have to evolve and adapt to work around this technology. And, and I'm sure in real estate, it's going to pop up soon. They're already talking about it. So something, try to plan ahead on.
So you're saying that I don't have to scream at my phone 10 times in a row to text my wife that I'm on my way home. So it's going to get better than that?
Oh yeah. It'll probably just, I don't know. Once they, they put the chips in our head, and we don't have to even think about texting. It's just going to go out.
Yeah, there's a Kingsman movie. If you guys have also, I think it's the first one where they put chips in people's head and makes them go crazy. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the other day on Instagram, Ryan Serhant launched this app called Simple. Did you guys see this?
No.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, so it's an app. I mean, I think it's just for his brokerage at the moment. I'm sure he's going to license it out, but it's kind of like like you dictate, talk to it, and the AI will create things in the background for you. So let's say you're with a client and you want to run comps on a house to see if they should purchase it. You can dictate it. It'll pull all the data that it can find, run comps, and send you over a PDF, branded to you. Anything you set these pre-settings. It was pretty wild. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Like, if that is something that happens, but I don't know. It's wild. It's all crazy.
Yeah, there's going to be some efficiencies for sure. Yeah, I heard, and I can't remember where I saw it from, but there's a report that came out that it was one of the big boys like Google or Forbes or something like that was saying that 30% of jobs by 2030 are going to be replaced by AI, and the people who are going to be most impacted are the people with highest educations.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got that fancy degree on your wall. What the hell is it good for in like 10 years?
Get a tradesman job. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have an electrical company or something, Yeah. AI can't touch me there. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Service is coming back. They're getting rid of, the automatic scanners at the grocery stores. Retailers are getting rid of. They want to bring back people who are checking you out because there's been so much theft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So how are you finding the market these days as far as inventory?
Still super low.
Super bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I think I said a couple of weeks ago we were up maybe year over year, but I don't know if it feels like it. That's the thing. I don't know. Like, I don't know what February's numbers are going to be, but it doesn't feel like there's much out there.
Yeah. I had to put out. Just trying to find every way possible to find off-market opportunities for our clients because they're looking, but there's just nothing that's coming to market that they're wanting to go run out and go see, and it's kind of been really frustrating for some of them because there's just, even if things that do come in the market, A, they're going to be overpriced, or B, they're just not in the condition that they want, which probably is going to lead us to our next subject, which is new construction, which is actually a great opportunity right now because there's still a lot of new construction opportunities. And are you finding that, Brad? Are you working with anybody trying to build now instead?
Yeah, I mean, I think every conversation I'm having with new clients is about building.
Yeah.
And what's happening, I'm working with a client, right now. Now they're cash, which is great, but they just can't stomach paying what they have to pay for a project. Right. Yeah. And so they didn't want to look new construction because they don't want to be in those cookie cutter neighborhoods. But they don't have any really other choice for what meets their needs.
Yeah.
And so they get handcuffed. And so I feel bad because it's almost like you gotta buy a house that you might not truly want to live in that neighborhood.
Yeah, you never want to be in that position, but I feel like more and more people, almost feel like they have to settle, because again, they raise their hand, they have to move for a reason. Yeah. And then you look for a couple months and there's nothing that comes about. And then it's like, okay, we got to kind of settle on something.
Ryan, with the tug and pull of rates right now, are you seeing your clients even turn to new construction? Like maybe you've been working with them for a while, and obviously being in the lending world, that's tough for you guys when they're going to go get financing from the builder a lot of times. But are you seeing your own clients turn away and go the build option too?
Sometimes. So if you guys are not familiar, the people that are watching at home, new home builders, they typically are captive with the mortgage lender. And I'm a mortgage lender, but I don't work for a new home builder. I work for a mortgage broker. So what Brad's asking is, are we losing clients to new home builders? Because new home builders can basically drop their shorts and bring down interest rates really, really far and make it more attractive to go new build versus existing. So you can see here, this is like the snapshot as it's coming in right now from Google, is the national average interest rate is about 7.7. So you guys are being marketed towards, your clients are being marketed to 4 and 5% interest rates. Yeah. And brokers like me have a hard time competing with that. So I have not lost any clients that I know of to new builds, but I do know that as soon as I start hearing that they're shopping new builds, it's almost a done deal that as soon as they see that interest rate, it's a brand new house, they don't have cat pee or fingernails lodged in the carpet anymore. Right. You don't have to worry about that stuff. It's kind of a no-brainer. But once again, new builds, like you guys said, kind of have the client being hamstrung into only, you can either have vanilla or chocolate and you can have one topping. So there's really not that much as flexibility. But I was actually curious, how are you guys seeing like production builders versus the custom builders? Are you seeing one having more sway than the other, or one more having more favor?
I mean, on the production side of things, a little bit. I don't see as many good deals as I was seeing, but what's also surprising to me is how much affordable new construction there is. I think a lot of times, you know, we think it's going to be really expensive to build a new house, but you know, I have a couple of clients in the under 400 price points. So we're looking, you know, mid 300s, and you can find a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath house, about 2,200 square feet for under 400, and that's really attractive. And plus, they're, you know, the builders, yes, they're giving some closing cost, you know, in addition to, you know, some of the lower rates. So it's becoming a really good option for some people. But again, to find those areas, because they're built on cheaper land, they're further out, you know, they're like in London and South Bloomfield and things of that, you know, just 20, 30 minutes outside of the city. But again, it's a new house, great financing options. So, you know, there's some good options out there.
I've also seen like a lot of smaller builders start to emerge a little bit, where maybe they can build a house for $350, you know, and it's not necessarily huge, but it's not small either, right? I feel like it can meet a lot of people's needs. Now, some of these builders they're behind because they're booked up, so maybe you have to wait a little bit longer, or they're not going to move at the pace as a big production builder can. But I think those little guys, I think they're going to get more of an opportunity if they can kind of keep their workload going, if they can control their costs, because their markups might not be as big as a production builder, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, like our grandparents got used to those tract style houses where they would just go clear cut an entire neighborhood and then build 1,200, 1,500 square foot houses. I mean, shit, back then it was like $2 to have one of those houses, to buy one of those houses. But like, that's what we need right now, is we need house farms. I know no one wants them, but those will not stay on the market because people just need a first house to get into. Like a new build at 300, I don't know many first time home buyers that can do that.
Yeah. Well, and I think the one thing they're missing the boat on, I think, is just in some of these new communities is they don't build enough in terms of the amenities within the community. You know, they're building the houses, but like, you know, I look at other markets across the country, and there's some, again, I really love Texas. I kind of watch a lot of their real estate in Texas and around Houston and Dallas, and these communities that they build, I mean, they've got really beautiful parks and pools and things that are built like, as you know, these planned developments that we don't have. And I think if they just got more in the amenity space, I think it'd be more of an attractive option. But they, you know, and sometimes they have the schools, like they build the school first and they build the neighborhood around it. And I just saw that though in South Bloomfield. It was actually very cool. They had the elementary school right in the neighborhood. So, you know, another incentive to want to live there. You can just walk your kid to school every day. And, you know, we don't have many of those opportunities now in a lot of our neighborhoods. So, you know, I just think they can get a little bit more innovative.
Why don't they do it, you think? Because I'm with you. I follow a lot of real estate in Texas and Florida, and it seems like, you know, my cousin, she moved from Pickerington down to Houston, and she's building a home in a 3,000 home community, right? Yeah. And she was telling me she doesn't have to leave for anything. It's got a Costco, it's got a gas station, multiple pharmacies, like parks, pools, like a golf court. Why aren't we doing that? If we just can't buy enough land? Is that, you think, what it is? Or that's just not how our builders think? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It could just be, again, just pure economics. They might just feel like it's not, you know, in the cards when they run their budgets to do these things. But I just think they're huge selling points if they can get more. And that's why, like, my big thing was like tiny houses. I just thought, like, you know, people have different lifestyles. You build the tiny houses, and then, you know, since they have a tiny house, they're going to want, you know, the more of the amenities outside of the house, things to do in the neighborhood. But you can get really creative in that space. And I just wish that we would see more of that.
So I think it kind of goes back to density issues and these municipalities not wanting to drop their standards. And it's like this Texas standoff kind of thing, to where everyone's pointing their gun saying who's going to blink first. But I mean, it would be a huge, and I think a couple episodes ago, we talked about manufactured housing and being able to turn and burn a lot of houses very quickly. But to, like your guys is saying, I think having those amenities would help offset the fact that it's a manufactured house and it's 1,200 square feet. But I think those things would get snatched up in a heartbeat by first-time home buyers. So I don't think that the demand issue is the problem. I think it's either municipalities standing in the way, or builders are gotten so used to 20 to 40% profit margins. Why would they want to go backwards?
Yeah. Well, I know even in like Jerome Village, they just, I don't know if they broke ground, but I believe they're putting a Kroger in Jerome Village, right? And so I don't know if that was like always planned, or they got enough complaints from like the residents that the grocery store from Jerome Village was too far away, you know. But that might be one community, because they have a little bit more amenities than most, I feel like. That might be one community to mold things after and see where that goes. Maybe if they do a Kroger, maybe other things will follow. So I think we should keep an eye on that, and then maybe that does become the trend eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. So as far as rates are concerned, I fully anticipate that rates are going to stay kind of where they are for the time being. Once again, we're still riding off of the artificial job numbers from the end of the year, meaning that we are still taking into consideration all the temp workers from the holidays and all the new government jobs that were created from all the, I'm not going to curse, but all the extra spending done by the feds. And at the same time, having $30 trillion as our deficit, that's not going to go away anytime soon. So I do expect that by the second half of this year, rates are going to start coming down in conjunction with the election. But for the time being, I think mortgage applications are slowly climbing back up with the spring market, but I don't expect them to explode kind of like everyone thought they were going into this year. So I'm seeing an uptick in my production. I'm sure you guys are seeing an uptick in activity, but I think more than anything, that's just clients getting used to the idea that this is where rates are right now.
Yeah. Yeah, the rates have been baked in. I mean, we're very busy. I mean, we're blessed to have a lot of people that we're working with and helping, move to Columbus. And but there's some other economic things. I don't know if you guys follow this, but like credit card defaults were up, car defaults were up, and then there's a slight uptick in foreclosures. And so what that tells us is, a few years ago when people were really having to drop their pants to buy a house, and I think they got, with the rates so low, but it's getting more expensive with that. They didn't calculate inflation, and then nobody could see that coming. But now with the higher inflation, I think people are starting to get squeezed in areas and are starting to get behind in certain payments. And so just as a forecast, it's something to, think about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can see here that the trend line, that credit card usage went down during COVID because we had all this extra stimulus money and shit, we weren't going anywhere to eat. And then now that we're all kind of let off the leash again, it's going back up, but we're all meeting it with lower wages and higher cost of living. So, yeah, I think, Oliver, you're right. This is the canary in the coal mine as far as the health of our economy. But at the same time, I'm also seeing that car payments are just astronomical right now from the credit pulls that I'm pulling. I'm seeing pretty much north of $650 on every single new car payment within the last year that was originated. So I don't know how people are going to afford a house with a damn near $700 a month car payment.
That's wild. I mean, gosh, the base price of cars now is almost like on average $40,000. I mean, you could drive a $100,000 truck. I mean, that's wild.
Yeah, you want to talk about a bubble that's going to pop. I think that the auto market's going to be one of them that's going to pop, because at some point people are not going to be able to afford the cars that they're selling, so there's going to be no buyers.
Well, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of dealerships, in the news that around here they just can't move product.
Mm-hmm.
They have like trucks, especially like big trucks, right? They just, like you said, Oliver, you got a F-150 or F-350 that's north of $80K, and you've got 50 of them on the lot. You can't move it right now. The rates are too high for to finance a vehicle, and people are squeezed. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see the fallout of that industry if it happens.
Wow. I know that I'm not selling my car anytime soon. I have 2 payments left, and I'll be damned if I buy another one.
Nice. Good for you.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks. Well, gentlemen, you have anything else you want to add this week before we adjourn?
Rest in peace, Richard Lewis, great Ohioan Buckeye, passed away. Great, yeah, it's sad to see that.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I have much. I mean, it seems like it's going to be a nice weekend, and I'm sure we'll all be very busy. So see what happens this week, and report back next Friday.
Cool.
Roger that. Well, thanks guys for tuning in. Once again, we keep getting more people watching each and every week, so we're grateful for you. What we would love to see is more interaction with you guys in the comments. So next week, or if you're watching the replay, drop your comments below. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to potentially bring you on. And that's the other thing, is if there's something that you guys want us to talk about, or there's someone that's newsworthy and notable here in Columbus, we'd love to have them on. Unfortunately, we've reached out to a couple different people, and we've got snuffed. Seems like we're not big enough fish yet to be able to bring on guests. So if you know of anyone that you want to hear from, let us know. We'll be happy to reach out to them and get told no anyway, but we're going to do our best to make sure this is a good show for you guys. So gentlemen, thank you very much. I appreciate each of you. Go out there, have a good weekend, be safe, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, see you guys.
Yeah.